Welcome to Doc Lanew's Storytime. Today, I am rereading A Healing Moment by myself, Doc Lanew. Now, let's get to the story. A Healing Moment by Doc Lanew. It was the end of the day. Charles was tired and wanted to go home. He knew he couldn't. Vicky made him promise her he would go to the meeting tonight. She insisted for him to go and offered to drive him. Knock, knock. Are you still driving me? Vicky looked away from the monitor and smiled at him. I am glad you are going. I thought we might get into another fight about this. Charles' body shook. Vicky might be a friend, but after Joyce's death, she did push Charles to do what was best for himself. He called it tough love. Charles did realize he needed the stubbornness to help him steer in the right direction. No, I think I learned my lesson by now, Charles said with a smile. Good. Did you eat today? No, and I'm hungry. Only had an apple. I'm hungry too. Vicky grabbed her purse. I think I might have a coupon in here. She begins to dig into her bag. Are we getting dinner before my meeting? Yes, we are. Vicky pulls out an envelope. Here we go. BOGO! We're going to Country Barrel. Charles smiled. You're the boss. I guess you'll take me home and pick me up in the morning? Of course. Let's go. Vicky and Charles walked downstairs. Vicky unlocked her car doors with her key fob. Charles opened the door and saw that she had her umbrella in the passenger seat. He placed the umbrella in the back seat and sat in the car. Vicky entered the car and started to drive. After a few minutes, Charles turned the radio down. I need to tell you something, Charles quietly said. It's my fault that Joy was in that accident. Vicky pulled the car into a convenience store parking lot and stopped the vehicle. What are you talking about? She would not be there if I did not ask her to go to the store and get me the new tackle for the next weekend's fishing trip. Charles, stop. That is not your fault. Yes, it is. I asked Joy to go there. She would not have been there if that was not for me. It was the drunk driver's fault. You have to stop blaming yourself. You did nothing wrong. Vicky, please let me finish. Before I go to bed, I cannot sleep without thinking it should have been me. I can't forgive myself. I was selfish, and I could have waited for that tackle. The tackle that I did not need. That is why I started to gamble. The adrenaline high that I received when I won was so incredible. It was terrific because it replaced the depression and the anger. Charles, you didn't know. Know what? I texted Joy and asked her to meet me at Belk's. She said yes and was going to see if you wanted anything from the shopping center. Charles then remembered Joy did ask him if he wanted anything while she was out. If anyone should feel guilt, it should be me. It was my idea to have a ladies' day out at the shopping center. That is why I make sure you are doing what is best for you. I failed you too much already. You can't afford me to fail you again. Failed me? I should have done more to stop your Biloxi trip with Todd. I knew it was not a good idea, and I did not try hard enough to stop the trip. Next thing I know, you were going every weekend. You started to lose your bets. You then had to sell your Harley Davidson, your boat, your brand new truck, and your house. I failed you, and I failed Joy. Charles looked in Vicky's eyes. She was crying. Vicky, you never failed me. I don't think you could stop me from going to Biloxi. I needed to fall to seek the help I needed to heal from Joy's death. Promise me you won't blame yourself about my problems again. I promise you, and you promise me you won't blame yourself for Joy's death. Blame me if you have to, but don't blame yourself. I won't blame you. I'll blame the drunk driver. Do you feel better? Vicky asked. Charles thought for a second. Actually, I do. How about you? Yes, I do too. Are we hungry? We're hungry. Vicky places the car into the drive and exits the parking lot. Charles had not felt this clear-headed in a long while. It was a strange feeling that he was not the one to blame. Charles thought, he can now forgive himself, although now it was not needed. He was now concerned about Vicky. She admitted that she blamed herself also, and Charles could see that she did feel guilt for Joy's death. He should have never blamed himself, but he will never blame Vicky. I'll admit it, it feels that a ton of bricks was just removed from my shoulders, Charles said. Good, you still have a ways to go. It's a start, and I am happy you told me how you were feeling. I know that it's a lot to carry in your heart. How about you? Would you have ever admitted to your text to me? I don't think so. I had lost one good friend in the accident. I was afraid I would lose another if I told you about planning the shopping trip and put her there. Charles stopped and digested what Vicky had just said. Yes, back in May, when Joy had died, he would blame Vicky. He wouldn't probably want to talk to her. She feared losing someone else in her life. He could not fault her for that, and he was glad that she withheld that information. Talk to me if you need to, Vicky. I don't want you to walk around with this on your mind too much more. I will listen. Vicky smiled. I will, and you do the same. I think this is the first time we talked about Joy's accident since it happened. Vicky pulled into Country Barrel's parking lot. Charles' head hit the passenger side door window at the sudden bump as the car ran over the curb. She parked her car and immediately opened her bag. A moment later, she pulls a tissue out of the giant pocketbook bag. Here, take this. Dry your eyes, she said to Charles. He complied. She then pulled a second tissue from her purse and patted her eyes. They exited the vehicle and started walking to the door. Chuck, hold up. Charles stops and turns to Vicky. She hugs him. Thank you for sharing with me. I know it was tough for you. Now, let's eat. Vicky then leads them into the restaurant. The end. Thank you for watching. If you have any short stories, poems, music, or original art that you would like to share on this channel, please email me at j.lanou.stories@gmail.com. You can watch a previous episode by clicking on the icon on the right. You can subscribe by clicking on the icon on the left. And please, as always, like, share, and comment about the video. Until next time, take care of yourself.